All right. Hey there. Let's do it. It's been at 10. It's Monday. It's September 29th. It's our last Monday of September. And we have basically nothing but sunshine to talk about here. But we're going to look on the Ben on a Limb segment coming up here in a minute. Mid-October is when I think we might see some, like a bigger weather pattern change to our area. So if you're on this early, you're probably watching the replay. But as folks get on board, please let us know where you're watching from. If you have a weather question, if you have a weather joke, we've got some goofy weather jokes coming up. We've got your weather history. So we've got the full show here this morning. Thanks for watching, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, P-E-I-N-E, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube. Thanks for liking or subscribing and setting up the notifications there. And of course, when the weather does take a turn for the worse, we may be going on for hours and covering severe weather or maybe winter weather, whatever it might be. So good to get those notifications, especially on the YouTube and extolmag.com/weather online, which I can go to here in just 1 second. Let me bring this up to the stage. Hope you guys are having a good morning out there. It's a perfect morning to take that stroll outside or just coffee on the back deck. Here you can see the clear sky overhead, the closest showers in association with that tropical storm Imelda. That's east of Miami. And then there's Umberto off to the east of that. So dual tropical systems that really will not have an impact on our area as we stay high and dry for quite some time here. So as I bring up the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera, we could take a live look outside right here at nothing but, again, sun-drenched skies across Kentucky and southern Indiana. We are going to be just full force sunshine pretty much all week. So keep the sunglasses handy. Again, here's extolmag.com/weather. We've got our live stream up right now. Current conditions, 3-day forecast, the brand new 7-day forecast that I just posted there. No severe weather outlook for us anytime soon. The drought issue might become an issue once again because we see no rain. So areas will be drying out. Hopefully we don't get into all the burn bans like we had a couple weeks ago. And again, really no big use for the interactive radar anytime soon. But you can also plot on different variables here, like our current temperatures, which it shows are starting to make our way into the lower 70s in some spots. And we'll just have a light breeze coming in from the northeast for today. And actually, we're going to have a couple guests on today's show. Margie Vertrees, who I went to college with, actually, in just a second. We're going to talk about Jingle Bell Run. We're also going to talk about some lacrosse on today's show. So I'm actually happy to have some guests on because the weather is so quiet. We need something to fill some time in here on this show. Let's be honest. Beverly Higgins, good morning from Borden, Indiana. And we've got Orlean Whitlow. Good morning. 58 degrees to start the day. Nice cool down. We're going to feature these cool nights and these warm afternoons here for the rest of this week. Christian Walker, 68 degrees there in Carmel, Indiana. Thanks for that live report there. As we remove this and bring up our weather headlines for today, warm afternoons, cool nights, dry all week, and then a bigger change coming mid-October, possibly. That's going to be the Ben on a Limb segment. Our play ball forecast, we've got 78 at noon today, 86 for the afternoon high. That's getting almost to 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year, and then 77 degrees at 8 p.m. 0% chance of rain for today, and a northeast wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And they're starting to see some of those woolly worms out there. If you do, feel free to send me a picture. Of course, the old folklore is the more tan, the more mild the winter is, the more black, the more harsh or snowy the winter will be. But this is from Indiana Wildlife, some of the woolly worms out there. So again, you can always email me, ben@extolmag.com. If you see those little critters out there. Speaking of critters, there's me on the right, and there's Margie on the left. I wasn't calling you a critter.
Jeez, Ben.
Calling me a critter. So there's me in the Santa outfit. What an introduction, right?
Yeah, speaking of critters, here's Margie.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant it for the Grinch right there. So here is Margie, everybody. We got another comment coming in. We got Kendall Boyd from Charlestown, India. Now my face is bright red because I did not mean that. But
that was perfect. That was hysterical.
So we have, again, I'll bring this picture back up. This is the Jingle Bell Run. This is why it's fun. December 6th. It's a Saturday. Used to be, was it late November?
Yeah, well, actually, we were about the first weekend that it could be. So it was usually mid-November. And then we moved it a couple years ago, and I like it better the first week in December.
Yeah,
I
mean,
think
we're
it's
getting closer to
I like it post Thanksgiving, and people are officially in the holiday spirit at that time.
And actually, I can go to JBR, and you can too at home.
JBR.org/Louisville.
I can bring this up live. So this is where you would go to sign up. So let me get rid of this, add this, and bring this up full screen. So right here, let me get rid of this bar. Yeah. Okay. So there it is.
Yes.
So the Jingle Bell Run, part of the Arthritis Foundation.
Yes.
And tell us how you got involved in this and what you're doing with it.
Well, I was, or I guess I am, a member of Alpha Omicron Pi, and it is our international philanthropy. And we've been paired with the AF since the late 1960s. And so it's always been near and dear to my heart from when I joined as a college sophomore at Ball State. And now—
Good for you, because I wasn't helping out much when I was in college.
Well, it's always been— philanthropy has always been a super big thing with me. It's one of— I don't know if it's an official love language, but it's one of mine, definitely, that I just have this need to help. I probably got it from my grandfather. He was one that he was huge with Habitat Humanity or church, you know. And so it's just, I understand that because I have that inner draw to it also.
And plus it's a Arthritis Foundation, obviously helping out and with research and helping those with arthritis just manage the pain. But so many of us, I just learned today that I am part of that umbrella of arthritis, because we're talking about gout, and I had a little flare up.
I did, and I said, you have arthritis.
So probably everybody has been impacted by it, whether it's a family or a friend. Definitely a great organization to be a part of. And Arthritis Foundation, they've got Jingle Bell Run here in Louisville. Again, December 6th. You can sign up there at jbr.org/Louisville. They've got them in other big cities too, like Indianapolis. My brother and sister have had bad arthritis because of hemochromatosis, which is a blood disease with your iron levels. So again, like almost everybody's impacted by that. Let us know in the comments if you are impacted by arthritis.
Yeah, and you know, I'm working, and my team is working to help as much as possible, because it does impact so many people. It's something like 1 out of 3 adults are going to be impacted by some form of arthritis in their lifetime. Yes, it is the number 1 cause of disability for us, for our pets. Causes $1 billion worth of lost wages, and it is just devastating. It puts people in wheelchairs, puts people in hospital stays for super long times, and babies as young as newborns have arthritis.
Yeah, you don't think about the kids as
much.
No.
People think that it is a very old person disease, and juvenile arthritis are devastating.
Kendall says gout is the worst. Yeah, I got it in my big toe, and I could barely walk with it. But thankfully it didn't last very long.
And we are, and speaking of gout, the AF has just funded a research grant for gout specifically. So it's not just osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, you know, which are extremely debilitating. I was mentioning my mother has them, but it is, you know, smaller arthritis, you know, groupings too, you know, some of them that are very, very rare, but still cause major problems. And so since
you've got some big goals here.
Yes. Since I became involved, we have raised over $200,000 for the AF since 2020 when I got involved. And but yes, our goal last year, we raised over $53,000 here in the Louisville Metro. We have a silent auction. For Louisville kind of staycation things, we have Millionaires Row, Churchill Downs passes, Kings Island passes already, Holiday World passes, Angels Envy passes. We have a fun, sign up.
There's a QR code right there.
Yep,
right here.
Sign up. You can run it. You can walk it. It is $40 right now for an untimed. And we also have timed 5K run walk too. So that's 45 at this point, and virtual to do it virtually. You still get a shirt, and you can, you know, do it anytime. It's $45. You can see
the vibe that's out there. They've got an awesome DJ. He makes it fun with some fun, you know, Christmas themed songs out there. And then everybody goes outside. Sometimes the weather's nice, like it was on the right side.
It
Sometimes
was.
we've
It
had
was
snow
nice last
before.
year.
So
Yeah, my goal is to always get out and try to walk one time around. You know, do 10 to 15 minutes, because I figure, you know, once we get there and once everybody takes off. Last year we had over 300 participants. Once they take off, I'm like, huh. We did it.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
did
A
it again.
celebration loop for you.
Yeah, we are in the throes of planning right now, and
So
it
this
is
is at
so
Tom Sawyer
fun.
Park.
It is.
It's a very convenient location. There's plenty of parking. You
Yes.
don't have to worry about that whatsoever.
Nope.
Go into the Tom Sawyer. What is that? I don't know.
It's like their
multi-purpose room.
Yeah, their gym,
gym.
area. Yep.
And then hang out, go to the different booths, get some swag while you're there.
Yep.
And then
Do the silent auction.
The silent auction.
And that ornament tree, like duck pond that we have for $10, where you get at least $10 in gift cards.
And then the run is at 9 a.m. right after that. So before you leave, let's talk about your local connections too. Good. We met at Ball State University. We used to do the local news at Ball State University together back in the year 2000 or so, or maybe even before, right around 2000. So you were doing sports. I was doing weather.
Yeah.
And but Margie here is local totally, and her husband too. Ian was Terry Miner's producer for many years.
He was
at WHAS 840. But you've been a teacher at North Harrison, Clarksville, and now
Floyd Snobs Elementary, here in New Albany, Floyd. And I absolutely love what I do. So yeah, this, you know, everything I do for JBR is volunteer. And that's, I am honored to be able to help out that way and, you know, devote part of my life to that. But
your job is a part of the community, helping out the community.
Yeah, so. I'm a reading interventionist for kindergarten through third graders. And, you know, sometimes I'll hear people, you know, say, well, I was doing this, you know, working this multi-million-dollar account or whatever. And I say, well, today I was singing, you know, about the sounds that the letters make with some kindergartners at the end of the day, you know. So it's a totally different world, but it's a world that
you see a difference too, and it's
oh my
rewarding,
goodness,
I'm sure, so.
Oh my goodness, they're so smart. I mean, sometimes you just, I just get floored every day. I'm like, good job, you got it. You know,
somebody watching may have been your student, so
it's possible.
We'll see in the comments throughout the day.
Yeah, there are two teachers actually this year at North Harrison that I taught in both first grade and again in fourth grade. Wow. It's their first year.
That is awesome.
So yeah, they were my little first grade and then fourth grade babies, and now they're teachers themselves.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you can see you made a difference already there.
Oh,
so one more time, we'll bring this up before we get you out of here, Margie. So this is the jbr.org /Louisville. This is where you can go sign up. $40 non-timed, 45 timed. Go out, help the Arthritis Foundation. Help your pets too. I've got two dogs that their back ends are going out. It's not fun, but arthritis impacts us all there. So once again, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
And I'll see you December 6th at the race.
Thank you.
I'll be hosting, by the way.
Yes, come see us, please. It is really, really fun. You will have a good time, I promise. Wear jingle bells. You'll sound like
Despite the host, it'll still be a good time. So
he does.
Come on out there. All right, let's bring back up the forecast here. We'll see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
And there is, again, that information there. Let's bring up the forecast here for you on our Ben at 10. This is the 7-day forecast, and we've got all sunshine here. So you can tell it's a very, very quiet weather pattern. Temps in the mid-80s. Actually hit 87 yesterday, the official high at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. I would say, some areas outside the city in the shade, not going to be quite as warm as that necessarily. And then we're looking at some lower 80s. Stretching all the way through the rest of this work week and into the weekend. Thankfully, we've got some cool nighttime temperatures. You can kind of leave the window open. It'll feel good out there with our low temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s. So the AC gets a little bit of a break at nighttime. And thankfully, the humidity will be on the low side. Looking at a normal high of 77, average low of 57 degrees. So a bit above normal with those high temperatures, especially. We're actually going to have another guest on the show that we're going to bring up here in just one moment. And it kind of goes along with our play ball forecast. So we'll go ahead and bring that up. Today's details, 78 degrees at noon, 86 at 4 p.m., and then at 8 o'clock, 77 degrees, 0% chance of rain, northeast wind, again at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And here is a live look outside at all that sunshine that we have throughout the area. And again, many more sunny days as well. This is our last Monday of September, and then we're heading into October. The first couple weeks of October might still be kind of on the warm side like we've been, but then maybe a bigger change around mid-October. We'll take a look at that in what we call the good old Ben on a Limb segment. So we'll have that coming up here in just a second. But before we get to that, we're going to talk a little bit about some youth lacrosse with New Albany Parks and Recreation. We've got the parks director here, Alicia Meredith. And so we are talking about signing up the kids. It is age 6 to 17, October 13th to November 20th. So hello, Meredith. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, how are you?
Or not Meredith, Alicia.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
So tell us about this exciting time for New Albany Parks and kind of introducing a new sport to the community, newer sport.
Well, newer to our area. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. It's a long-standing sport just in the country and honestly, the world. But it is something that's new to our area. So it's really big in Louisville, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis, for instance. But for whatever reason, it just hasn't crossed the bridge quite yet, and the Ohio River yet to take off here in Southern Indiana. So I've recently partnered up with U of L men's and women's lacrosse and Spalding University men's and women's lacrosse, and they have kind of helped me tackle this new endeavor of introducing the sport of lacrosse to our community here in Southern Indiana.
So are there some high school clubs that have it in Southern Indiana, or is it still too new for that?
It's still too new for that. Yeah, it's at New Albany Parks and Recreation at Silver Street Park. That's where it is right now.
That's the only spot to find
yeah,
it.
that's where it is.
So there it is. That is actually not the Silver Street indoor facility. I created that.
Yeah,
I created that.
On the flyer,
The
though,
flyer
that
is,
is our location. Yeah.
Kind of looks similar, but there's a QR code right there. You can learn more information, or you can go to cityofnewalbany.com/parks. More information there, 812-949-5448. And again, that is going to be at the Silver Street Park there. I used to skateboard back there with my son quite a bit. There's an awesome skateboard park back there too. But you're kind of an all-star because you actually played for college.
Yes. I played at Ohio State.
That's pretty amazing. So you want to show us some of the tools that you would use?
Yeah, love to.
Equipment.
So this right here is probably the most important part of it. Let's see which way. There we go. This is a lacrosse stick. So this is a women's stick, actually has a little bit shallower of a net here. The boys has a bit of a deeper pocket, and that is because the boys is full contact, whereas the women's is not. Ours is a little more equal pressure, kind of bumping, I guess you could say, whereas the men's, you can outright tackle each other for the most part.
So that holds the ball in better?
Yeah, it holds the ball in better for them. Yeah, so this is a stick. This is a pair of goggles that you would wear in the women's game. So, just up here to protect your eyes and your nose. The ball's a really solid, hard ball. And so when you're playing with that, it's about this size. This is an indoor ball. This is what we use a lot of times, like in the schools or with some of our younger kids. But the other ball is a really solid, almost like a rubber bouncy ball.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to wear some protective gear because it kind of hurts. And then in the men's game, they also wear a helmet. So similar to ice hockey or something along those lines. Yeah. Catcher's helmet does kind of look like that. They wear this to protect themselves. We got a couple of other things over here. Sorry, guys. So gloves to protect their hands again, because they can kind of hit and tackle each other and smack with the stick. They wear also some elbow pads, and then they have
cool looking gear.
Yeah. And a lot of this gear was all donated to us actually as well. So we got pretty fortunate.
It's kind of similar to that.
Yeah. So some, it goes over here across your over your head and then protects your shoulders and your chest and stuff like that. And then also some elbow pads, again, like I said, because you can whack each other with it.
So safety is important. Are there different contact levels of the ages that they're allowed, or is it all?
No, it's all pretty much the same. Yeah, with the kids, it depends on their age and their level and what we will allow within it. But like the actual, rules with USA Lacrosse and stuff, it does vary by level. But for the most part, they're all pretty similar. So
what do you like most about it? What would you tell, kids out there that are kind of taking an interest in it?
I think it's a place where everybody can shine. There's a little bit of something in it for everybody. So if you have played a sport in some degree, it is like combining a lot of various sports into one. But, it's just instead of, dribbling it or kicking it on the ground or hitting it with a stick, on the ice or something like that. You get to run a lot like you do in soccer and basketball. It's played very similarly in terms of the play of the game to basketball or ice hockey. But then you have like those baseball, softball motions of catching and throwing, up here. You can use both hands and your body, do pick and rolls, create various plays. There's a lot of things like that, but then there's like that component, that contact component, especially for the boys, who like to hit, like you do in hockey or football, stuff like that. So it's a way of combining, I feel like, several sports all into one. And if you are, maybe even if you're athletic or you're not, I think that there's something in it for everybody because there's multiple positions within it, and there's a place for everybody to kind of shine.
It's not too late, too. It sounds like if you're a decent athlete, you can find a spot in lacrosse.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I did not start playing until I was a junior in high school. So I only played 2 years in Louisville and then was able to go on and play at the varsity level. So
at the Ohio State.
Yes.
Pretty impressive. All right, we'll bring up the information here once again. So sign up now, $75 a child, and the season is October 13th to November 20th. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And we have 2 nights for each age group. So we have a boys, night and league, and then we have a girls' night and league.
Okay, perfect. And again, you can go to the cityofnewalbany.com/parks to learn more, or you can call 812-949-5448. And that will be at Silver Street Park. So there you go. Thanks for being with us.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
See ya.
All right. Have a great day.
I'm learning stuff today about all kinds of stuff. So awesome there. All right, here we go. We're going to get back to the forecast here for you. And we'll bring up the weather headlines as we cruise right along. And we had a comment earlier about the arthritis we were talking about with the Jingle Bell Run. And Lillian says, I got the arthritis. It is not fun to have. That is very true. Here's your weather headlines today. Warm afternoons, cool nights, dry all week, and then maybe that bigger change by mid-October. And again, that play ball forecast here, we're looking at 86 degrees for our afternoon high for today. And we are seeing basically, again, across our area, we're back into one of the quietest weather patterns that we have had this year. As we take an expanded view out, you've got 2 systems in the tropics. You've got Umberto, and then we also have Imelda. Imelda is the one that is just east of Miami, and that is a tropical storm. But notice that pretty much all of the forecast data has this storm cruising off to the east, and this one cruises off to the east as well. So while there will be some rain around the Carolinas, it shouldn't be devastating, and it looks like it will never make it into our area. We've got a completely dry outlook, but active weather in the tropics nonetheless. You can see where those storms came from, where they are going. So it is good that once again, we will not have a direct impact on the United States from those storms. We got Bertha Turner with a good morning. Thanks for tuning in here. All right, so that's what we're talking about. A little bit of the tropics really not impacting us. And again, taking that live look outside here with temperatures starting to make their way into the 70s. Just grabbing the sunglasses, grabbing the shades. That's what we're going to have for quite some time. I want to give a shout out to our partners, by the way, before we dig into that long-range forecast. To Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. Get your free estimates there online. 812-294-3595 is the number to call. They've also got I'll go back here. They got a job opening. It is a roofing repair technician. So you can check that out there at lionsroofingco.com. There's a form you can actually fill out and apply online. And then our friends over here at Ivy Tech, they had their big Night of Impact last week honoring NWSB. But you can go to locations, Sellersburg. And this would be a good time if you want to go to Tuesdays at the Tech, because tomorrow's Tuesday, our last day of September. You can customize your visit where you're going to get how to get started at Ivy Tech, registering for classes, career development, and how to pay for college. And there's dozens of 2-year certification programs to get you into your career. Speaking of careers, there's a career section here at libspaving.com, L-I-B as in Ben, S, paving.com, where you can apply for some of the opportunities that they have right there. And again, we're talking about some roofing stuff. You want your house insurance, car insurance. It actually had auto renewal reduction. So if you want to get a quote, tell Michael I sent you. Michael Long here with AmFam.com, 812-578-3072. He is proud to be an American Star certified agency, excellence in customer experience. Go to amfam.com, click on Michael Long, and then you can find all the ways to contact him. A reminder, too, you can always go to extolmag.com/weather for our live show here throughout Southern Indiana and beyond, throughout Kentucky as well, of course. And you can see all the weather maps that we have here for you. And again, very quiet on the interactive radars. You see that system is off to our south, but you can plot on the temperatures if you ever want to take a look at that. So it is now 10:25. We had a couple of interviews, so we're coming up to our digging into the weather model segment just a little bit later. I've got my poor Cardinals cup here, but congratulations to the Reds getting that final wild card spot because the Mets lost last night. So that'll be fun. They get to play the next few days. And hopefully, I think they're taking on the Dodgers. They'll be able to beat the Dodgers. Something to root for in baseball. And Christian's got fall break coming up. Head to Traverse City. So I went to Traverse City not this June, but last June. And it is beautiful up there. That is a fun spot to be in. All right, let's get to the real quick. We'll get to your extended forecast. Then we'll look at the weather models as usual. But as I mentioned just a second ago, I need to remove that and bring this one back up here. So we've got the woolly worm starting to crawl around. This is from the Indiana Wildlife Group on Facebook. So the old folklore is the more black, the more harsh the winter will be, the more tan, the easier the winter will be. So we'll see about that. Here's your stupid weather jokes. We'll get you some weather history. We'll get your forecast, and then we'll take a look at maybe mid-October changes on the way. So what did the moon say to the sun first thing in the morning? Well, aren't you a ray of sunshine? I made this at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had my 6 o'clock in the morning Monday brain on, and I did run instead of ray. So aren't you a ray of sunshine? Even though it was sunny, why was the sky sad? It was a blue sky. Why did the sun not have to go to college? It already has 1 million degrees. All right, not the greatest there. Really, Christian, there's not much to track with the hurricanes. You may have missed it. I just showed it a second ago, but I'll show it one more time here for you. Let me get rid of that, bring this back up. But there you can see they are heading out into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, curving back out. So that is Imelda right there. This is Umberto. And so they will stay off of the East Coast and will have no impact for our area. All right, moving past the horrible, stupid jokes to the weather history here. Let me go ahead and bring this back up. 1896, back in the day, 1896, Cedar Key, Florida, a bustling seaport at that time, got hit by a major hurricane. 10-foot storm surge nearly destroyed the community. 1927, an estimated EF3 tornado hit St. Louis. More than 200 city blocks were torn apart. 79 people were killed. 550 people were injured. Crazy. 1938, Charleston, South Carolina, 5 tornadoes killed 32 people, doing $2 million in damages. That'd be a lot more in these days. The storm formed from the remnants of a tropical depression that moved to the northeast along the southeastern coast. And it did damage right across the street from where the U.S. Weather Bureau office was located in downtown Charleston. 1996, a large severe weather outbreak, including 3 tornadoes, 100-mile-per-hour winds, and golf ball-sized hail, struck New South Wales, Australia. You don't hear about that too often. Over $100 million in loss there. All right, how many days until? Average highs in the 60s, just 20 days away. Halloween, 32, just about a month. Average first flurries in 47 days, and Thanksgiving in 59 days. And our UV index today at a 6. You can get a burn with that full force of sunshine out there, even though the sun's not quite as powerful as it once was in June and July when it had the highest sun angle. But we've got a moderate level of grass and weed pollen out there that might be still impacting some of you. It is not heading to Florida, Christian. It is going back out to sea. And the forecast here for today, as we sum it up for your Monday, September the 29th, a high of 86 degrees, sunny and warm, low humidity, northeast winds at around 5 to 15. Our sunset at 7:37. And tonight, we cool it back down, upper 50s, low 60s, which is a light northeast breeze. And the forecast here for your Tuesday, September 30th, as we wrap up September, more of that sunshine. More cool mornings, mild midday, and warm afternoons. So our average high is 77. We're going to be around 86. So almost 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. And there you can see our stretch of very dry weather, as all the tropical stuff will stay well off to the east of us, which there it is once again. So let me go ahead and bring up the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day outlook as we start to look at the longer range outlook. And since we're going to do that, this is the good old Ben on a limb segment. So what I want to do here is take a look. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook. So what does that say for us? That is high confidence in above normal temperatures for us through the next week plus. So that goes along with the 80s. But again, it doesn't mean it's hot. Our average highs are now going down to the mid 70s. So even upper 70s and low 80s would be above normal. And then the cool air with the trough is going to be out to the west. This ridge of high pressure is also going to keep us high and dry as well. So when you have cool air, you've got a trough. This is a dip in the jet stream that fills in with that cooler Canadian air. And then on the flip side, we've got this ridge, this hump in the jet stream that fills in with warm air south of the jet stream. So that is going to be the overall weather pattern here, keeping us dry and those temperatures a bit on the high side as well. So that is from the Climate Prediction Center there. Now, the 8 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center might be pretty similar because I don't see a real significant change maybe until mid-October. So now we're just keeping mid-October in mind. A couple weeks ago, the GFS weather model, if you were paying attention to the Ben on a Limb segment, it was showing now over the next few days, we'd have a significant change. Now let's push it back like 2 weeks. So that was not correct. So this shows an above normal confidence, above average chances, and above normal temperatures through 8 to 14 days as well. We got a good morning here popping in from Tammy and Vicky. Thank you guys for watching. Beverly's got another appointment tomorrow. Won't be on the show, but thanks for being here. Lillian now has a temperature of 74 there in Litchfield. And Christian, we're all doing good this morning. Thanks for being on here. The weather, I mean, could almost not be any better. It is phenomenal. So let's go ahead and bring up the weather model data. I do not need to bring up the high resolution weather model data, the next 48 hours, the hour by hour. We don't need to do that. There's no rain to track. We need to bring up the long range weather model, and that is going to be the GFS. So let's get back to the maps, and we'll go future radar. We can look at maybe the next rain chance first, possibly, and then we can look ahead to the temperature change that we see maybe a couple weeks out. So then the first question, when might we see rain? I think let's go all the way to Sunday, the 5th of October. Is that correct? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Sunday the 5th. And we are still dry, low pressure off to the southeast through Sunday. So I'm going to put this to Monday the 6th of October. It is still showing dry conditions with rain off to the east. We're now going to the 7th of October. We see nothing happening there. Going to the 8th of October. So this would be well into next week. And a lot of times that old saying is, when in drought, it's hard to get out. It looks like we might be heading back into drought conditions. Thankfully, it's the end of the growing season. So what has grown out there. So Kendall asking for the weekend of the October 11th, are we looking warm and dry? So we're almost there. We're up here to October 9th. It's still looking dry. I'm going to go here to the 10th of October with the good old GFS weather model, and it shows a little bit of a rain chance. Not much, though. Like, it's not really any kind of significant system. And then to Kendall's question, here's October the 11th. So cross your fingers. It has dry conditions over us there. And we go to the 12th. I don't even know what day that would be, the 12th of October. Where are we looking at? So that's not this weekend, past the following weekend. Yeah, I've got a golf scramble on the 11th for Borden basketball, so hopefully we'll keep that dry. So now we're looking at Sunday the 12th. And it looks like it may be a front. It's trying to move through around. So it looks like a front there. around the 12th. So maybe rain chances start to pick up like late second week of October, something like that. And then if I bring up the dew point, that's going to give us a good look at what kind of air mass that we have across the area. So green is going to be your humidity, not crazy humidity, but a little bit humid. And then your red is the really dry air. So if you want that real crisp fall air, you're probably rooting for the red. So it gets a little bit closer here. Dew points on, I think this is Monday, the 13th of October. So these dew points aren't bad, kind of like what it is now. So I don't see any major change to the air that we kind of have around the area through the 13th. As we go to the 14th, it's starting to show this push of drier air trying to get closer to our area. We go to the 15th, mid-October, and that is as far out as we can go with the good old GFS weather model. So the European weather model by that time already had that front moving through. The GFS is a little bit later. So, mid-October, will we see this front eventually win out? And what kind of temperatures are we talking about behind that? So behind that front, you're looking at 40s, 30s and 40s, and then out ahead of it. And let me go to actually a better time frame. Let's go to like afternoon temperatures. So this is afternoon on the 14th, Tuesday, the 14th of October, and it still shows us with above normal temperatures through mid-October. The big question mark here, at least in my opinion, is that when, and it will happen, but when will that Canadian air win the battle? So for now, it looks like there's this trough of the jet stream and then the ridge over our region. So this is the jet stream. That's going to keep the western United States cool in our region above normal for the next couple of weeks or so. So maybe again, around mid-October, we'll see a change as maybe that colder air will eventually win the atmospheric battle, so to speak, and we'll have a weather pattern change there. But for now, generally above normal temperatures. Let me clear that out of the way. This is a look at up toward the jet stream, and this shows a trough out west, that dip in the jet stream, and then this ridge that goes north. So we would need this trough to push through to get us into that cooler air that it eventually is going to happen at some point here in October. But for now, trough west, ridge east, we are warmer than normal for now. Very dry too. Usually, under this area of high pressure, this ridge of high pressure in the upper levels, a lot of times when you have that at the surface, you're going to have high pressure too. When you have high pressure, you have sinking air, and that basically gives you a lot of sunshine. You need the air to go up to create the clouds and the rain, and we'll have the opposite here generally maybe over the next couple of weeks. Perry, that sounds awesome. I fell asleep on the deck enjoying the weather. I might have to try to recreate that myself on the back deck later. Wonderful evenings, wonderful mornings with this weather pattern. The dry air, it's not too hot for us. Hey, Ben Peine is always a great way to start the day. All you need to know is right here. I got my own little commercial right there, my own testimonial. Thank you very much for that comment right there. So that has been the good old Ben on a Limb segment. We looked to mid-October. Might be around that time frame before we see a decent change. But in the meantime, we've got amazing weather to get things done outside. Get the yard picked up, mowed, all that good stuff. And let's go back and give you a recap of the forecast as we start to wrap things up here on our Monday. Hope you guys have had a good Monday today. And I want to give you a quick reminder too that if anytime you got a weather joke like John Fox, or if you have a weather question, or if you want to be part of our advertising and marketing here at Extol Weather and Extol Media, you can email me, ben@extolmag.com, or jason@extolmag.com. Our weather headlines: some warm afternoons, cool nights, dry all week, and maybe that bigger change by mid-October. Got a question mark behind that. We'll see if we can get a weather change there. But over the next 2 weeks, mostly dry and warm. 78 at noon today, 86 for the afternoon high. There's my son Brady playing some tennis in the background there. So we'll be watching some tennis later today. I think we're heading to Clarksville. So it's also woolly worm season. So this is from Indiana Wildlife Group on Facebook. The old folklore says the darker the woolly worm, the worse the winter is. So if you see any of those, feel free to take a picture and send them to me at ben@extolmag.com, or you can also go to Indiana Skies and post it on that. Reminder too, the Jingle Bell Run. That's me. I'm the host of the Jingle Bell Run, December 6th at Tom Sawyer Park. We had Margie Vertreese on our show that I went to college at Ball State with on earlier. And to remind you, if you want to sign up for the run or the walk, JBR, Jingle Bell Run, jbr.org/Louisville, and $40 or $45 if you want timed. So a fun 5K there, loop around Tom Sawyer Park. Before that, there's booths and music and a good old time. That'll be on December the 6th. And a reminder too, we had Alicia Meredith on from the New Albany Parks Department. They are signing kids up now. October 13th through November 20th is their lacrosse season, trying to build a newer sport in our region. We had a high school lacrosse team back in the day. And these jokes, I'm going to give these about a 4 out of 10, guys. What did the moon say to the sun first thing in the morning? Well, aren't you a ray of sunshine? I spelled ray wrong. Even though it was sunny, why was the sky sad? It was a blue sky. Why did the sun not have to go to college? It already has 1,000,000 degrees. I'm going to give that about a 4. Again, today's weather history, a lot of it's tropical related. I'll post this around noon today if you want to look over it longer. And how many days until? We got average highs in the 60s in about 20 days, Halloween in 32 days, average first flurries in 47 days, and Thanksgiving in about 59 days. UV index is a 6. You can get a burn with that, even though the sun angle is starting to get lower, and our days are getting shorter as well. Moderate levels with the ragweed and the grass pollen out there. In your forecast summary today, 86, sunny and warm, low humidity, northeast winds at 5 to 15, sunset at 7:37. And for tonight, 62. After sunset, it cools off nicely thanks to, again, the humidity staying pretty low. Had the windows open last night, listening to all the critters out there. 62 out the door tomorrow morning, 78 at noon, 86 for that afternoon high. Might have to water the grass if you want to keep it green this time of the year. Here we go. Sunshine icons across the board. 86 tomorrow, 84 Wednesday. Temperatures might just drop off a tad later this week, but still above normal in the lower 80s, as our average highs will be down in the mid 70s as we kick off our first October week. October the 1st on Wednesday. And so a good looking start to the new month. All right. Time is flying by. Where did the time go? Christian, we are wrapping up September. It is a crazy year. Seems like these months are flying by. Vicki Berger, it's a beautiful sunny day in Salem. Good to see you. Good to see you, Vicki. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. And Christian tacking on to the countdown, 87 days until Christmas time. It'll be here before you know it, as you mentioned there. And we can take another couple live looks outside before we wrap things up here. 10:43. Typically, we go about 45 minutes or so on the Ben at 10 show. So there is a look at nothing but sunshine here as we look live with our Extol Media camera at the corner of Benson's and Market outside the Extol Media studios. And we'll have another look outside here at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Going to plop that one back up here. And there we can see that camera just as much full of sunshine there. And looking towards the Louisville waterfront, the good old railroad bridge. Typically, sometimes we'll see a class of students out there. It looks like someone's strolling around. Maybe sometimes, maybe doing a little fishing out there. Good fishing weather. Vicki saying, have an amazing day. You as well. And one more reminder too here, there are weather resources for you whenever you want at extolmag.com/weather. We got our live stream up right now. You hit the refresh in case you want to refresh and see the current conditions out there as we're starting to head into the 70s. Interactive radar, much more. On the severe weather watches map, you can see it's all along the East Coast with the tropical storm out that way, Tropical Storm Imelda. There you can see the track on this one. There you can see the latest track. It's over the Bahamas right now. Not a crazy strong storm. It's got maximum sustained winds at 50 miles per hour, moving to the north at 9, and is expected to head out towards Bermuda, out towards the middle of the Atlantic as a hurricane. So moving away from the United States and far enough away that it never really has an impact on our area. All right, I think that is going to do it, guys. We'll leave it with another positive comment right here with a have an amazing day. Again, tomorrow we'll try to sum up some weather jokes that are a little bit weather tomorrow. We'll have your weather history. We'll take a long look at the long-range outlook towards mid-October, where eventually we might see a change to our weather pattern. But for now, hey, just enjoy a whole lot of sunshine out there. And we got John Fox popping in with a good morning there. Christian, it was a good weekend. Went to Churchill Downs, played some golf, got to spend a lot of time outside. So it was a good weekend. And now here we go, finishing up September and heading into October very soon. So we'll leave you guys with that, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, Ben at 10 a.m. Thanks for watching on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather on the good old World Wide Web. We'll see you later.